at the Palace of Auburn Hills. As we say, we've got 2 champions down and 2 more still to go. In Class B and D completed, Saginaw Buena Vista is the champion, Muskegon Heights the runner-up, and in Class C just concluded, Grand Rapids Covenant Christian the champion, Muskegon Western Michigan Christian Warriors are the runner-up. Now we look forward to the Class C. Southgate Aquinas will take on Pewamo-Westphalia. Then later tonight, again, the Detroit Pershing Doughboys versus the Benton Harbor Tigers. Quick mention, of course, that not only is this a championship game for the players, the coaches, and the fans, but also for the officials. They work hard all season long. We need officials at all levels across the state of Michigan. And if you're interested in becoming an official, contact your local high school athletic director or the MHSAA. Pick up a whistle and join the fun. Well, right now, we're getting ready for the Class C state championship affair. And now for the introduction of the starting lineups, let's go down to public address announcer Eric Forseth. All right. Okay, we're going to go down to Tim and Greg right now, previously for some highlights of earlier action. Tim?
Hey, Rick, the clock says 7:35 here, so there still is that much time left here before we get to that point here. This is a doubleheader session, the second of 3, and Pewamo-Westphalia is still out on the floor. Ron Kramer, Greg Kelser was interesting. Ron Kramer, the 10th-year Pewamo-Westphalia coach, told me before the game that after his kids won last night, they watched the movie Hook on the bus coming up to the hotel here. So they took it easy. They had a little team meeting today, had some breakfast. They didn't get too worked up. There really isn't much time for any preparation for this game at all for all these clubs, because they got to play Friday and come back again on Saturday.
They get a chance to see what it's like to play the NBA-type schedule for a week. Of course, they play on Wednesday, come back on Friday, and then today. That's 3 games in 4 days that these teams must play. It doesn't give the coaches a lot of time to prepare, but also it doesn't give the players a lot of time to get their minds on other things that aren't necessarily important to winning basketball games.
All right, Gregory and I had the Class B game this morning in which Saginaw Buena Vista won its 50th straight game and repeated as the state champion with that 69-52 win over Muskegon Heights. And Gregory, this is a game where Buena Vista really showed a lot of talent.
Well, they got their transition game really going, and this was just one of several baskets. Searles on the finish there, and then the inside strength of their sophomore. That was Roberson there putting it back. They were just too strong, too often, getting the fast break going here once again. And this is the senior, Cheryl, getting it down.
And that was Shedrick Morrell, and this is back Muskegon Heights just fighting inside.
They gave all they had.
Yeah, they did, but Buena Vista's got so many guys, and that sophomore Roberson was great. Maurice Sane was tough. This is number 12, Keith Guy scoring. But they sent him to the free throw line late in the game, and Buena Vista made a lot of them, and then they got a lot of inside baskets as well.
They passed the ball extremely well. That was the thing, and there you see the celebration, but that was the thing that really impressed me. The fact that they moved so well without the basketball, you could really tell that these guys, they didn't just meet each other this year. They've been playing ball together for quite some while.
That was the 4th state title for Buena Vista. Now here's the game which was just completed here. The Class D Championship. Grand Rapids Covenant Christian in the dark uniforms completed a perfect season and had to rally to come back because this Muskegon Christian team, the defending D champion, played a very good game. This was close right up until the final minutes.
It certainly was. Grand Rapids Covenant Christian trying to repeat. And it looked like they were going to do so for a minute, but I think the scoring drought that they underwent late in the 3rd quarter really hurt their effort.
Covenant Christian of Grand Rapids had a 1-point overtime win in the quarterfinals over Lansing Christian, and so they were just kind of destined here. There was a key foul here late in the game, and as Gregory said, Muskegon Christian went just a little bit dry, and then Grand Rapids Covenant Christian, again in the black uniforms, made the big plays down the stretch here and managed to pull away and win this one 53-42. So we've had 2 unbeaten champions now today, and we could have a third if Southgate Aquinas would go on and win, and if Pershing would win, or even if Benton Harbor would win, you could have 4 unbeaten state champions, and it's been a long time since that's happened. You're taking a look at the Palace here this afternoon, 21,454 the capacity here. The Pistons played last night, and the cream of the crop of Michigan high school basketball playing here today. Let's go back upstairs now to Rick Berkey.
Thank you very much, Tim. I'm joined once again by guest analyst Marshall Thomas, Saginaw varsity basketball coach. We look ahead to this Class C matchup, Marshall. I had a chance to see Pewamo-Westphalia in the quarterfinals defeat a fine Granville Calvin Christian squad who got to the finals last year in B. And this is a very gutsy team. They're a hard-working team, and nothing fancy about them. They just go out there and work you all up and down the floor. You had a chance to see them play in the semis yesterday. Your reaction to their play?
They are a very good team. I have to agree with you 100%. Very good team play. Have an excellent player in Steve Ecklund, but he's by no means is he a one-man squad. On the other end, too, we have Mr. Basketball in this game, Mr. Garavaglia from Southgate Aquinas, who's an excellent big man. This game serves all purposes of being a very, very exciting game.
It's interesting that through the years, Southgate Aquinas has produced some outstanding athletes. This is their first trip to the finals, and you never know what's going to happen with a school that's there for the first time.
Exactly. But I would be more than willing to bet that they got an excellent coach, and again, remember we said they've got Mr. Basketball with them, so that's here for us to see.
We talked about the thrill of the youngsters playing here in a big arena. One of the disadvantages, perhaps, is coming out to an open arena like that. Most of these players, and many of them, have never played in an arena this size. Sometimes they come out as the players get out there getting used to the baskets now, but the backgrounds, as we see the wide shot, are totally different from what they're used to playing under during the regular season.
Exactly. You know, in some earlier games, you might even see some of the players taking shots from the pro in three-point shots. And I'm not so sure sometimes that they might not realize where they are on the court. Sometimes that does occur, and that sometimes can have an effect on the game.
Good point. They see the line all year long. There's only one line. They get out here, there's only two. But they adjust very, very well to it, and the thrill of being here certainly makes up for it. And having this many people here, there's a little bit of nervousness probably when they come out and warm up, but the first time they hear that roar, you think that nervousness mostly goes away?
Oh, it definitely does. You forget even all about the crowd, or at least you should be forgetting about the crowd, and then once you get into the game.
Okay, again, we're looking forward to this one, but later tonight, of course, we got the Class A matchup that Marshall and I and Tim and Greg and Ray, everybody looking forward to. Detroit Pershing against the Harbor. Last year, these two clubs met for the championship in A, and Pershing came away with the win. Benton Harbor would love to get back. They did get back and avenge things. Pershing would like to make it 2 in a row, as Saginaw Buena Vista did. But check your local listings. We'll bring you that broadcast a little tonight right here on the MHSAA Championship Network. Marshall, we're looking forward to that right now. We're going to talk about this one in depth, but I know that you personally are looking forward to that rematch. Last year, Pershing came out strong and won it going away, but we expected a great one last year, but we look for it to happen again this year. Even though we didn't get the great game last year, I think we will this year.
I think we will too. I've talked to both coaches, and I think that both coaches was expecting that this particular year. And talking to Coach Paul Wilhite and some of his players, they just feel that they've got something to prove, and I think they'll come in ready to do that.
All right, you mentioned Jon Garavaglia, the outstanding talent for Southgate Aquinas. When a player is focused on, he's probably looked at double teams and maybe triple teams all year long. He actually gets an advantage when he gets down the road in tournament play, because as the other players have to raise their game, sometimes he doesn't get as much attention defensively as he faces during the year, and that's a big advantage for the star.
Very much so. Something else, too, though, that he has going for him, he's a Mr. Inside and a Mr. Outside. He shoots the ball extremely well from the three. He can go inside with his size or rebounding shots from players being missed. He's just a great athlete overall.
Pewamo-Westphalia loves to pressure you all over the floor, as we mentioned. How do you think Southgate Aquinas will handle that pressure?
Watching them yesterday, I don't think they'll have a problem with it. Their point guard is a very good key to them also, and I think he's a big show in terms of how they play the game overall. And I don't think they'll have very much of a problem with it, but we'll have to wait and see.
We look forward to it, Marshall, as we hope you do as well. Now, let's go down once again to public address announcer Eric O. Forseth.
Good afternoon. The Michigan High School Athletic Association welcomes you to the Palace of Auburn Hills for today's final game in the 1993 Class C Boys Basketball Tournament. What distinguishes this event from other levels of athletic competition is the learning taking place on the playing surface. Students can't learn if their efforts are not respected. Remember, good sports are winners. And now, Let's meet the starting lineup for today's game between the Pirates of Pewamo-Westphalia and the Raiders of Southgate Aquinas. For the Pirates, at forward, 6-foot senior, number 25, Chad Hinkpaw. For Southgate Aquinas, at forward, 6'3", senior, number 30, T.J. Emmerich. The other forward for Pewamo-Westphalia, 6'4", senior, 33, Steve Ecklund. For Aquinas, at forward, 6'5", sophomore, 32, Jason Singleton. At center for Pewamo-Westphalia, 6'3", senior, 55, Brad Haar. For Southgate Aquinas, at center, 6'8", senior, number 54, Jon Garavaglia. At guard for the Pirates, 5'10", senior, 13, Dan Werner. At guard for Southgate, 5'9", senior, number 10, Antoine Campbell. The other guard for Pewamo-Westphalia, 6'3", senior, 51, Ryan Wolpert. And for Southgate Aquinas, at guard, 6-foot senior, 14, Lawrence Simmons. The head coach of the Pirates, Ron Kramer. Head coach for the Raiders, Ernie Price. Your officials for today's game are Paul Boersma and Ken Ron. Alternate, Robert McComb.
That's Gary's boy.
Tim Staudt along with Greg Kelser back here on the floor of the Palace. You saw our officials, you've met our starting lineups. So Gregory Kelser, we're as excited as everyone else is to check and see how these two teams will match up. We've heard a lot about Southgate Aquinas all season long. They've been ranked #1 in the wire service pools in Class C. So the two teams come out on the floor. As Rick said earlier, we've got the Class A game yet to go tonight. Aquinas will be in the home white jerseys. Pewamo-Westphalia, the Pirates, who won their 6th straight CMAC League Championship this year, in the visiting blacks. Pewamo-Westphalia 24-2. They lost a game to Saranac and to Fowler. The team grade point average is 3.1 for Pewamo-Westphalia. These kids can study as well as play basketball, and it's the same way with Southgate Aquinas. They say they like to try a pattern play off the tip. Let's see if they do it. Nope.
Good idea to just go with the possession under control, work the offense, see what they're going to do defensively. And I think right away we'll look inside to see just how they guard the big fella right there.
Well, the big fella, Jon Garavaglia, broke his hand inside. You will not see PW on his own all day long. They do not play anything with man-to-man.
Garavaglia showed a great post-up move that time. The fact that he can get such good position is going to be a major concern for Westphalia all afternoon.
Well, Engelspot evens it up for PW, so right away, these teams have made their opening shots. Little short ones inside, it's 2-2. This morning, Buena Vista made its first 9 shots to get off to a great start. And Gregory in basketball, you shoot well, pretty well usually going to win. Baseline drive is up from 5 feet. That one's in by the great sophomore prospect, Jason Singleton. We've seen a couple of excellent sophomores today. Singleton averages 14.5 a game.
Well, he had the ability there to put it on the floor, take it one-on-one, took a tough shot off the baseline, but still got it to go.
Aquinas likes to trap at midcourt. They do there, and then Steve Ecklund slips and falls a bit. You can see he's putting some moisture on his sneakers so that won't happen again, hopefully for him. 4-2 now. We've had 3 shots in the game, and all of them have gone in. Nice to have you with us this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying this final day of the 1993 high school basketball season. Singleton inside, they go around, and that shot's no good. It's pulled out of there by Pewamo-Westphalia, and away they go. Ryan Wolford down the floor to Har, a whistle and a foul, and that'll go against Southgate Aquinas. And that's Antoine Campbell who picks it up, his first team foul.
Well, you saw Westphalia running the basketball up the floor. They want to run. They like a fast-paced game. And here you see keeping the basketball in the middle is Hengebaugh. Slipping, but getting the foul call.
From three-point line, air ball outside here by Ecklund, but he's a good three-point shooter at 46%, but it's going to go back to PW. Pirates trailing 4-2, as we told you in the outset. They had an easy game over Williamston last night, 72-29. Underneath, it won't quite go in by Engelspach, but it's out of bounds, and again, PW, no, is this going back over? I guess it is, and PW is going to press.
Hengebaugh, he was expecting a foul that time, but if Westphalia is going to be able to get the ball inside like that easily, they're going to have to cash in on those opportunities, because I don't think they're going to get many because they're undersized here today.
They go inside of Garavaglia. That'll be an offensive foul on Jon Garavaglia, backing into his man.
See, sometimes you can use a player's physical attributes against him. Here, triple teamed, if you will. Garavaglia gets it inside, but that was pretty good defense and a nice theatrical move, I thought.
He got well inside underneath him there, but that's what you need to do, is to try to get him in foul trouble, and he picks up one in the first 2 minutes.
Absolutely. I hope to keep it going for the offensive, and they bought them that play.
Steve Ecklund ties the game at 4 at the 5:53 mark in the first quarter. Ecklund shot 46% this season from three-point range. Well, our college players would love to have those numbers.
Hengebaugh guarding Garavaglia inside right there. Now, he's very small. There's no question about it. He's overmatched in there, but he has a lot of tenacity, make no mistake about it. In fact, after their win yesterday, Hengebaugh said, hey, we're going to win this thing with our defense. That's the way we played all year long, and we believe we can get it done.
Checking into the game now for Pewamo-Westphalia, number 43, Wayne Worth comes in, a 6'1 junior.
Of course, Tim, with that type of attitude, it's not surprising to see that Hengebaugh is the player that gets the first assignment to guard the big fella, Garavaglia. But I don't think he'll be there long. They're going to give him a lot of different looks. A lot of people will guard this big guy before it's over, and there you see the foul slap right in the face.
He is not a good free throw shooter, averaging just 57%.
So he'll fit right in with the Michigan State.
He'll be right there with all of them. In fact, he might be the best one they got before it's over. 5-4 Aquinas by 1 now. PW shot very well yesterday. Those two games were played at Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor. Southgate Aquinas has never been this far before in this state. They were quarterfinalists in 1973, 20 years ago. Haven't come close to that since. Drive inside, Ecklund off the glass, puts it up and in. Steve Ecklund, nice touch. And PW has a 6-5 lead here in the early going.
And Tim, that's all it was, a touch. He did not have good control of that basketball, but he had enough concentration to get it off the glass and down. Ecklund, a sound offensive player. A lot of players slipping out on the floor, too. I'm wondering if there are wet spots out there.
Ball down by Jon Engelspach. He runs it up a little bit, and now PW playing very confidently here in the early going. Ecklund puts it back up again, and there's no third try. So Aquinas weathers the storm and comes back down the other end.
But how about Westphalia? You're right, showing no fear at all going inside and running the basketball up the floor whenever they get an opportunity.
That'll be a turnover on Southgate Aquinas, and so at the 4:35 mark, PW gets it back. PW to check in Brian Thalen now, a 6'4 junior, and coming out is Brad Har. Ron Kramer's in his 10th year as the head coach at PW. Never had a losing season. His worst record was 13-9. So his kids know what it is to win.
Think about this. They're just 6 points away from being undefeated themselves. They lost by 2 to Saranac and by 4 to Fowler. And by the way, they beat both of those teams at some point during the season as well.
Jon Garavaglia with that rebound, gets it back down. The layup by the sophomore is up and in. Jason Singleton, 4 for him, and it's a 7-6 game. So it's going back and forth here with some turnovers here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. High feed, Singleton puts it up and in. Jason Singleton, he's been the offensive threat and the force so far for Aquinas, and they have a 9-6 lead.
Well, the team that wants to run the most is definitely PW. Aquinas will pick his spots a little more.
I'll tell you, they've got some shooters. Hengesbach knocks it in. He and Ecklund each with 4, and it's 9-8.
Oh, they don't need a lot of time. When they get the ball, if they're open, they're going up with it.
Garavaglia's pass inside, no, but he's fouled, and that'll go against Brian Thalen, his first.
That's what I was making a moment ago. When Aquinas gets the basketball, sure, they want to run. They want to get some easy baskets, but they're going to use a little bit more discretion when they run the basketball because they're so strong in the half-court game. They don't mind setting it up.
You saw Ernie Price in his 15th year as the head coach. I know it's going the other way, but I didn't get the... Is that a turnover? I guess it is.
It's a foul inside.
Who'd he call?
Offensive foul.
14 is Lawrence Simmons, so that's his first.
Backing inside, trying to get the post position.
I've got 3 team fouls for Aquinas scoreboard list too, so we'll check that out. 3:30 to go here now in the first quarter. Aquinas with a 9-8 lead. PW trying to get it back. That trap comes out at near midcourt, but PW does a pretty good job with it. They get an open shot. Good look at the basket, and it's put up and down by Brian Thalen.
And how about this? The activeness. They caught Southgate Aquinas sleeping just a little bit, throwing the ball in, not taking care of it, and a quick steal. This is the type of effort that will negate the size disadvantage.
Well, PW is a veteran team. They start 5 seniors, so they've been there before. They've been in the semis here now 2 years in a row. But Aquinas has 4 seniors and an excellent sophomore. We got a lot of veteran talent on the floor. Three-pointer, this falls off and out of, nope, it's saved. And Hengesbach brings it back in for PW. And turns it over, and Aquinas goes back the other way.
On paper, it looks like Southgate Aquinas would be the stronger team, especially when you look at the schedule they've played. They've played a lot of Class A teams, beaten them all, and haven't had a whole lot of close games either. I know handily on the season.
What a sweet move by Steve Ecklund. First he boxed out Garavaglia, got the rebound, took it coast to coast and left hand, put it in. His coach says he'll play college basketball somewhere, but he has not chosen a school yet. And his stock is going up with every play. Steve Ecklund. So PW now with a 3-point lead, its biggest of the day.
That's right, because this is prime time action. If you can do it in this type of atmosphere, this type of pressure with so much on the line, then yeah, you're going to impress a lot of college people.
Shot off the side is up and down by Singleton. He has 8 of his team's 11 points. He only averages 14.5 a game. I guess all that time spending on Garavaglia is going to leave some of these other guys open, and he's made the most of it.
Teams that move well without the basketball have been very successful here so far today. We saw it earlier in the Class B game.
PW turns it over, and so now at the 1:45 mark, the Pirates once again will make a move, and they'll bring in Greg Summers, and they'll send out of there Ryan Wolford. You see Wolford, he's the class valedictorian, perfect 4.0 average. These guys are good at everything. Down to the 140 mark, 12-11 now. PW with a 1-point lead. Inside, pass tipped away. Nice defensive play there by Brian Thalen.
Their defense has been superb on the big guy.
Garavaglia's left-hand shot, no, and Hengesbach gets the board. He pulls it down away from Lawrence Simmons. And there's 4,000 people here from Pewamo-Westphalia, and they've loved this first quarter.
Garavaglia hasn't had a lot of good looks at the basket, and when he got it that last time, may have hurted it just a bit.
Whistle and a foul will go against Aquinas. And that's T.J. Emmerich with his first 14th foul now.
Aquinas foul 30, T.J. Emmerich, his first 14th foul.
Take a look at this. Yeah, he was on the line on the 3-point line. That's right, they gave him a 2 on that. Should have been a 3. Called it up the wrong line.
My goodness, that was by far a 3-pointer. See how that figures at the end.
He's on the line, so that 2-point shot earlier by Ecklund was really a 3-pointer. No one else caught it but our crack staff here at the Palace, who noticed that that was a Piston 3-pointer. Our stage manager Jeff said, hey, that's going to cost the points. What if it's a 1-point game at the end? 1 minute to play, first quarter. Pewamo-Westphalia 12 and Southgate Aquinas 11.
50, Peter, 50!
and tape operator Jay Buckman. They're giving credit inside there to anybody that's standing in the control room over that. It won't make much difference, though, at this point.
That's right. Garavaglia that time stepping out to shoot the three as he did one time yesterday. He was successful, but really they want to keep him inside. That's where he's strong, and against this smallish type PW team, he can be very effective if he can get some room to operate.
PW 28, oh, is that they don't call a travel there. There's no shot clock in the high school game, and the steal goes back to Aquinas. So PW has turned it over 6 times now.
Yeah, Greg Summers didn't look very comfortable with the basketball there. Now back on defense, guarding Antoine Campbell.
This is what we've got left in the first quarter, and Southgate Aquinas would like to get a lead here. Drive inside, that's intimidated a bit. Garavaglia, they got him guys swarming and put back up at the buzzer, and it's going to be no. And there goes Jon Garavaglia. After a first 10-second basket, they shut him down. And after one quarter, Pewamo-Westphalia 12, Southgate Aquinas 11. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
After one quarter of the Class E State Championship at the Palace, Pewamo-Westphalia with a 1-point lead over Southgate Aquinas. I'm joined once again by Marshall Thomas. And Marshall, is this a surprise for Pewamo-Westphalia leading Southgate Aquinas for you?
Not for me, perhaps for some people, but after seeing them last night, I think that Pewamo-Westphalia can play with them, and they've shown so far in the first quarter.
Well, you mentioned in the pregame how impressed you were with Pewamo-Westphalia's Steve Ecklund, and you continue to be impressed.
Very much so. He does the little things. He does things that we sometimes have a tendency of taking for granted that they're easy to do. But they're difficult things to do, and he's a very good player.
Now, Jon Garavaglia for Southgate Aquinas, you said he likes to play outside. He's going a little bit more inside today.
He's played more inside than he did all of yesterday's game, and I'm sure that the coach is telling him to go inside. But at the end of the quarter, he started stepping out and shot a couple of threes.
All right, back to Tim and Greg.
Got a basket that Jason Singleton just scored there. That's 10 for him now, and you saw Ecklund score once again. So each team with a basket here in the second quarter, and a foul against Aquinas.
How about Aquinas bringing Garavaglia out on the perimeter and letting him throw the lob inside? They're just trying to use their athleticism, their jumping ability to take advantage of the height advantage that they come into the game with. But you gotta like the spunkiness and the activeness of PW, especially getting to the loose ball. There you saw one a moment ago, and they've come up with seemingly every loose ball thus far.
Here's Hengesbach on the line. You can see his numbers. I'm amazed at the poise that PW has shown, and yet they came in here feeling they had every right and chance to win this thing, and of course now they have a 2-point lead, make it 3.
I'm with Marshall Thomas. They've shown me in 1 quarter's worth of action that they can play with the Southgate Aquinas, forget any type of advantages. They're just hustling and working hard, and that will get it done a lot of times.
Whistle here and a foul called off the ball.
And they're not backing down, as you can clearly see.
No, not at all.
That time Thielen caught a bump, gave a bump.
Well, that's a common foul. Back in here is Brad Haar. So that'll be 5 team fouls now on Aquinas, 3 on Pewamo-Westphalia. Common foul inbounding the basketball will be Aquinas. I think they got to get Garavaglia somehow here into the offense. Well, he's got to try to get open now, but they've done a great job roughing him inside. You can see the size mismatch, and there he is. Maybe you heard he got a microphone. He's got an earpiece.
He's so big, he doesn't have to be as aggressive as he would be if he were being guarded by someone his own size when he's posting up, because the over-aggressiveness will get offensive fouls called on him, and certainly that'll get him in trouble quickly.
Oh, what a move inside, but the shot doesn't quite go. Hengesbach fly hard. He just about got it to roll, but it comes back to Aquinas the other end.
How about Antoine Campbell with the nice kick?
Garavaglia with his 7th point. He has 4 in his quarter, and Aquinas back on top 17-16.
First of all, Campbell went up and snatched a tough rebound, smallest guy on the floor, then took it in transition and made a nice pass. They got a transition basket that time, and Garavaglia is coming alive just a little bit.
Ecklund coming off the screen here at the top of the key. They like to get him open there if they can, and on the double team, somebody's got to be open. There he is. Ryan Wolford with his first 2. PW does a nice job working in with the screens, little motion offense, and they're up by 1.
Well, they're always looking to pass. You can see that this team is well schooled in the art of unselfish basketball.
Now you see Garavaglia all the way out there on the wing. And he's bumped and pushed and jostled from outside there from behind by Wayne Worth. That's his first foul.
Now, what Worth has to realize is that if you can push him that far from the basket, with his back still to the basket, some 17 feet away from the hole, then your job defensively has been done. You don't have to get any more aggressive because the official will call the foul.
Okay, now out on the top of the key, Antoine Campbell, a little point guard, trying to set it up here. He's got an impressive-looking sophomore here, 32, and he's bumped. And so that'll be 5 fouls now against PW. Make sure to get it right. Ryan Wolfer picks it up. That's his first foul. So it'll be a common foul. 5 team fouls now on Pewamo-Westphalia, and the big guy, Jon Garavaglia, will inbound the basketball.
Which surprises me a little bit. You would think that the big guy would be inside trying to receive a pass, maybe right under the basket for an easy move.
Shot 3 points outside is up and down by T.J. Emra. That's our first 3-pointer tonight. And it makes it Aquinas 20-18.
Or at least the first 3-pointer that was awarded.
The first 3 that was awarded. Emmerich with the steal here, 1-on-1. Dishes it up. Beautiful play here. Unselfish basketball, and Antoine Campbell has it.
Okay, they're getting a little stronger now in their defensive tenacity. Southgate Aquinas. PW must be careful at this point.
Aquinas by 4 now, 22-18. Loose on the floor, and Antoine Campbell. Oh no, it's stolen back by Hingesbach. He can't get it, and a whistle and a foul. He'd like to have that one back.
Must be something about that spot, because keep in mind, early in the game, Hingesbach had a layup right there and was unable to convert. As I said before, it's not going to be that often that PW will be able to get a shot in this closely. Here you see it. The ill-advised save attempt by Campbell, the retrieval. Hey, that was Hingesbach again. He missed the second time from that same spot.
22-18, Aquinas by 4. This is the Southgate team's biggest lead so far. PW has held the lead up by 3. Whistle, foul, and that one will go against T.J. Emmerich. That's his second. And that would be 16 fouls, so the next one sends him to the line. And again, PW will inbound the ball.
Just watch and appreciate the movement of Pewamo-Westphalia. Solid screens off the basketball. Cutters always moving, looking for the pass. That type of activity will force Aquinas to have to work hard defensively and could create some easy baskets or possibly get the Raiders of Southgate Aquinas in some foul trouble.
Ecklund with a nice looking free throw. PW is now 3 for 3 from the line today, and this team is a 62% free throw shooting team this season. Ecklund here with 9 points in the first half of the offensive rebound of PW. 3-pointer way outside, doesn't go, and it's pulled down by Garavaglia. Greg Summers thought twice about it and decided to take it.
Well, he worked hard for the offensive rebound, and he says, hey, I'll pull it out and I'll shoot it.
I might as well complete my great play. There's the high feed to Garavaglia on the back door, and he was fortunate. They pushed him out of foul. I guess they're going to call it is it a foul?
I think they are going to call a foul. But you know what? The pass, again, ill-advised. There has to be an opening. And on this particular play, Campbell tried to lob it in, but the defense was right there. Garavaglia, if he had been able to catch that ball, his balance would have taken him right out of bounds. He would not have been able to do anything with it.
No, they didn't call a foul. I think they just said he was pushed out of bounds, and he didn't go over the
scorer's table. That would be a foul. That would be a foul.
But he didn't go to the scorer's table. This is. Now you do have a foul. And Garavaglia will be on the line now, and that one is against the guy they don't want it on. Ecklund has it. That's his first personal. And he was shooting, so here's Garavaglia on the line.
So this is a little bit better pass inside, because once the big guy catches it, once Garavaglia catches the basketball, he has his balance. He can come down and go back up strongly. That last time, catching it in the air, coming down, his momentum taking him out of bounds, Had it not been for the foul, it would have easily been a turnover for Southgate Aquinas. You know, Tim, the thing that really surprises me is you look at all of these teams that have made it to the championships today. Very few have good free throw shooters.
Nope. It's contagious, and Garavaglia is one of 4. So Judd Heathcote will have work all summer long with guys on free throws. Guys coming in and guys already there.
Well, we saw it cost Michigan State. The free throw shooting cost Michigan State at least maybe 7 games this year.
Absolutely, and Southgate Aquinas hopes the free throw shooting doesn't cost the Raiders today. 22-19 Aquinas. Aquinas led 12-11 after 1 quarter. It's been that close all afternoon so far. Down to the 3:58 mark here in the 2nd quarter. Each team trying to win its first state championship. Here's the sophomore. He's pushed. That might be a 2-shot foul. That goes against Ryan Wolford, his 2nd. But now we're into the... No, that's 16 fouls, I believe. But he was shooting anyway. So on the line now will be Jason Singleton, a sophomore. 6'5", but only 160 pounds. Looks a little heavier than that, but nonetheless, that's his size. They take Ryan Wolford out of there now.
And once again, they're just putting Singleton down inside, throwing it up there, saying, hey, you go get it. He's gone and gotten it on a few occasions, but unable to capitalize on the free throws. Once again, Southgate Aquinas.
Raiders are 1 for 5 from the line here in the first half, and that's held their lead simply to 3 points. So it's been all Singleton and Garavaglia, and they're the 2 leading scorers on this team coming in. They've scored all but 5 points. 3:43 to go, Aquinas by 4 in the 2nd quarter.
Zone defense now by Southgate Aquinas.
PW recognizes that they got a shot open for 3, but that one's off the iron by Greg Summers. No, Ecklund puts it back up and in. Steve Ecklund. 11 points in the first half, and it's a 2-point game. Garavaglia over the timeline. In with it against the floor. Is that an offensive foul? I believe it is. No basket. And the foul goes against Aaron Mitchell.
You know, one of the toughest things to teach to young players is the art of pulling up and going straight up with your shot, as opposed to going in, letting your momentum take you into the defense. A lot of times, especially teams that are well schooled in the art of defense, they're going to stand in, they're going to get that charge, and it's going to negate baskets like that.
It's Eron Mitchell, E-R-O-N. He goes by Eron. Well, it's 23-21 now. The Pirates with a chance to tie or go ahead, but they turn it over now for the 8th time here in the first half. And they're going to get it right back again. And turnovers are becoming a factor here. They've kind of negated each other out. There's been so many of them. But otherwise, a well-played first half. You can see there it is officially 9-6 now, 15 turnovers. But that's because a lot of the defenses are ball hawking here. Little fall-away shot, no, and Garavaglia has another rebound. That's 5 for him here in the first half. Antoine Campbell around his man, but PW has helped defense there to slow down a break.
Excellent job of getting back defensively and then finding the open men, matching up very quickly, forcing Aquinas to have to work their half-court offense.
One shot is all home run ball down to Ecklund. He's going to square up for 3.
He went for the home run ball. 5-on-4 break now for Aquinas.
And tapped away beautifully here by Brad Harr. And the turnovers continue. The game is close, and there's 2 minutes to play in the first half. And we got a noisy crowd here for the C final. Harr inside around Garavaglia. No, he had the shot altered, and Garavaglia pulls it away. And what's the foul here? Oh, is it a timeout or a foul? Oh, they're going to call a technical foul here, I believe.
And it looks like it's going to be on Ecklund.
Ecklund is called for a technical foul. Ron Kramer, the head coach at PW, will talk with the official. He doesn't like the call very well. He must have said something going back up the floor.
Well, this will give Southgate Aquinas 2 free throws and the ball. It could have been worse. The worst time to get a technical is when your team has the ball, then you have to give up the possession, give up the 2 free throws, and then your opponent gets the ball back. in this situation, not a lot of harm done, because number 14, Lawrence Simmons, only able to knock down one, but now Ecklund has to be very careful. One more tech and he's out of here.
And back into the ball game now is Brian Thalen. He replaces Brad Haar, so they've gone with an 8-man rotation. Garavaglia is pushing off a little bit with Hingespach underneath. Well, they're playing him tough. There's no question about it. And the pass is awful. They try to get it to him. Poor pass, and Aquinas fortunate to get it back.
Boy, they swarm the ball. I imagine at some point Southgate Aquinas must feel that there's 7 different players on the floor for PW, because they're all over the place.
Inside, another whistle. The question is can PW stay out of foul trouble trying to guard the superior height and speed of Aquinas? That one goes against Brian Thalen.
Right now, PW, they're giving Jon Garavaglia a lot of different looks inside. They're falling in his lap. They're putting a man behind him. They're fronting him. They're three-quartering him. And that's good. But I don't think that Southgate Aquinas is doing a very good job of staying patient with the big guy, allowing him to work himself free as they did on the very first possession of the game. And they're not beating the post very well.
Singleton on the line now. He's had a big first half with Garavaglia. 12 points for Singleton. And Garavaglia has had 7. That's 19 of Aquinas' 25. 4-point lead now for the Raiders. And this is their biggest lead of the day now. Jason Singleton now 3 out of 4 from the line. He's the one shooter from the line who's given him something. So we're down to 94 seconds left to go here in the first half. PW's had a little trouble scoring, getting a good shot here the last 4 or 5 minutes. They have
defense forcing them way out on the floor.
So I was going to say, and Ecklund's out there too. He hasn't had a chance to penetrate. There's a penetration shot, but it's no good. And Garavaglia alters it a bit. 2-on-1 break. Ecklund is back, and he managed to get that layup altered enough so that it misses. They needed that stop.
He had to hurry that layup. For a moment, it looked like it was a 2-on-1 break, but before you knew it, 5 players, 5 Pirate players back on defense. They really get back well.
Ecklund is called for the foul after he misses his man. That's his second. Third team foul, excuse me. Ecklund with 3 fouls now, and so in the last minute, that's an unfortunate break for Pewamo-Westphalia. They're going to have to get him out of here and bring in Brent George, a little 5'9" junior. So now Pewamo-Westphalia here struggling in the last 3 or 4 minutes of this first half. On the line here will be Phil Pollock, a 5'9" sophomore. 2 sophomores in the playing group for Southgate Aquinas. PW has been stuck on that 21 for a while. And this is Aquinas' biggest lead, 27-21. Make it 28-21. 52 seconds to go. Let's see if they go for just 1 shot or try to go ahead and move into some offense.
Unless they can get a shot that's like 75%, I don't think they should shoot it again. Because right now, they're allowing a good half of basketball to slip away.
Inside drive up. That one won't go by Hingespach. Pulled down by Lawrence Simmons. Now 30 seconds to go. Aquinas doesn't signal for. Yeah, now they do. They want to take last shot here with 23 seconds to go.
Take away the possible charge a moment ago, and that was a 75% tight shot. But now, instead of going in at halftime down just 7, PW could possibly be looking at a 9 or a 10-point deficit.
Boy, that's a Pistons three-pointer, and it's an air ball, and we'll give PW one more chance. I wonder if these kids get confused with everybody else with these double lines out here, Greg. We've seen some confusion in here today, not only by the officials, but the players alike.
Well, Marshall Thomas said that was a possibility, but I got to feel that as a player, if you've been shooting a 19-foot three-pointer for the entire season, you've got to know the difference. The feel has got to be different when you step out to 23 feet.
That'll end the first half, and Southgate Aquinas will go off with a 28-21 lead. They outscored PW 16-10 in that second quarter. Foul trouble on Steve Ecklund. He has 3. He's been their big star with 11. We'll be back with halftime activity here at the Palace in a moment. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
The Michigan High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball Finals are brought to you in part by Farm Bureau Insurance and by True Value Hardware.
At halftime of the Class C state championship, you see the Raiders of Southgate Aquinas with a 7-point lead over Pewamo-Westphalia. We've still got a half to go here, then the Class A finale a little bit later. Marshall Thomas joins me again in the second quarter. Marshall, Aquinas comes from behind and they take control of the game, at least for the time being.
They did. Pewamo seemed to have gotten a little bit rattled there, but not so much that they've taken themselves out of the game. But Southgate Aquinas has used their quickness, I think, the second quarter to kind of take that lead.
I was impressed with Aquinas' running game, sparked mainly by some good outlet passes to get the break started.
Very much so. You know, they were using their size to get the rebound and using their quickness getting up and down the floor. Most of the time they were outnumbering Pewamo on the fast break 2-1, 3-1.
Now, one of the reasons a lot of people looked for Aquinas to be here was their competition during the regular season that they played.
You know, they're undefeated, and they beat the only team that has beaten Detroit Pershing this year. They beat Detroit Cass Tech by 3 in the Operation Friendship games between the Detroit City League and the Detroit Public League's playoffs. You mentioned you were impressed with Steve Ecklund from Pewamo-Westphalia. What else impresses you about the Pirates? They play such good defense, and they play hard all the time. They play very, very, very good team ball also. The second half, any major changes you look for? No, not really. I think that Pewamo will get back in the game. I just really believe that they will, because they play very good defense, which will hold them in until their shots start to falling, which I think that was a downfall for them the second quarter. But I look for them to get back into this game. And, of course, they need to score to set up their press in many situations, because that is often their bread and butter. But again, at the half, Southgate Aquinas with a 7-point lead, 28-21. Stay with us. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware. Halftime of the Class C final, you see Southgate Aquinas on top by 7. You know, one of the keys to maintaining an already strong officiating core in Michigan interscholastic sports is the constant recruitment of new officials. The MHSAA has introduced a new program aimed at giving high school seniors their first taste of officiating before leaving school. During the 1992 high school football season, Zachary Kemp enjoyed his senior year of football like thousands of others across the state of Michigan. But when Zach Kemp took off his Greenville High School practice jersey, he often replaced it with another uniform, the familiar stripes of a sports official. Zach Kemp was one of the state's first participants in the MHSAA Legacy Program, a new program which allows high school seniors to get a hands-on introduction to officiating at the 7th and 8th grade level. Each Legacy official works closely with a mentor, a veteran registered official. Zach's mentor is Don Gibbs. The mentor helps prepare the official, attends the games the student officiates, observes the student in action, and critiques their performance for improvement's sake.
Filter kind of back. You're already on the sideline, so you don't have to go very far back. Let the run go by you, and then follow them down. You don't want to go step for step with the runner, and you don't want to be in front of the runner. You want to be behind the runner.
Up in the northwest region of the state, senior Melissa Williams became the state's first female Legacy participant. Melissa, whose mentor is Will Lynch, plays basketball and runs track at Benzie Central High, and she is one of 2 Benzie Central students in the Legacy program. Melissa can become a registered MHSAA official working high school games next year, and like other Legacy veterans, will have a year of experience under her belt by that time. In Grand Rapids, Catholic Central senior David Gross also was a part of the initial Legacy program, working 7th and 8th grade basketball games under the guidance of mentor Lewis Klingman. Most officials, veterans or rookies, agree that proper mechanics are the foundation for successful officiating.
Go to the scorer's table and give them the signals big time. 3-2, wait, push. Okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Thank you. One of the beauties of officiating is that you never know how far it can take you. Zach Kemp knows firsthand just where it can lead. That's because Zach's father is Stan Kemp, veteran NFL referee who we've seen and heard on numerous NFL broadcasts.
Holding, number 69, offense. That penalty is refused, 4th down.
While the opportunities for advancement exist throughout officiating, legacy officials are discovering the enjoyment and satisfaction of picking up a whistle at any level.
It's a great way to stay involved with the football game, with the football program as you get older and graduate, and there's great places to go to.
MHSAA Assistant Director Bill Bupp hopes the legacy program can eventually spark an interest in hundreds of future officials.
We need to have officials to replace those who are going to retire and give it up. We've got a lot of people at 30 and 35 years of experience, and someday they're going to want to sit on the sidelines, and we need these youngsters to come in and take over their places and move into the world of officiating.
And Don Gibbs speaks for officials across the state on the rewards of officiating.
9 shooting, had 11 points, but now he has 3 fouls, one of them being a technical. He must be very careful. He has to stay on the floor for PW to be successful.
You can see the turnovers for Pewamo-Westphalia have been crippling so far, as well as the shooting, Gregory, at 36%. And they haven't hit any well, they hit 1 3-pointer, but it didn't count. We told the official about that. Of course, that made his day. And Ecklund has 11, as you can see. Hengesbach with 6, and those have been the guys, 17 of the 21. And then on the other side for Southgate Aquinas, Jason Singleton. I'd say we have seen 2 sensational sophomores here today. Roberson for Buena Vista, Singleton 13, and Garavaglia 7. What about Garavaglia now, Greg? You can't evaluate a guy at 1/2 there. But one thing is he struggles to get open, at least he has here today. And his shot has been altered just a bit as well.
Well, I think you waste his height, 6'8", if you don't put him down inside. Right now, they've been using him out on the perimeter to pass the ball inside, the lob-type pass to Singleton. I'd like to see Garavaglia. First possession of the game, he posted up very strongly, got it inside, got 2 points. If they can be patient with him and allow him to work himself open inside, use his strength, and then get him a good post feed, then he can have a big second half. But you got to utilize that type of height in a game like this when you have such an advantage.
All right, let's take a look at Garavaglia now in action. Is this the one? Whoop, let's see, here we go.
That was the one where he was running in transition. Campbell had got the rebound, took it coast to coast, and then dished off to Garavaglia, filling the right lane.
And now watch him underneath here. They managed to get a good pass to him.
See, on this particular play, took their time, allowed him to post up, get comfortable in the post, get strong, and then they gave him the basketball.
Okay, now we'll watch at the other end for PW. Here's the miss, Ryan Wolford, after a good rebound by Ecklund here on the break, and Wolford will end up getting the bucket.
Well, here's Ecklund, heads up. I think this is the one where Ecklund takes it all the way with the left hand.
Oh, no, there he is. That's the one that Ecklund takes it in, yeah.
And you see that type of ability, you want it on the floor, not on the bench, saddled with 3 fouls. He's got 3 fouls. I imagine he'll come out and start the half, but must be very careful. And here's a dish inside, always cutting to the basketball. PW does a good job of looking up the floor and being ready to catch the basketball.
Okay, that was Ryan Wolford. So it was Southgate Aquinas by 1 after 1 quarter. They were ahead 16-10 second quarter, so they have a 28-21 lead here going into the second half. We'll be back with the third quarter basketball action in a moment. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
Start the third quarter on alternate possession. Southgate Aquinas will put the ball in play.
Just 1/2 of basketball remains for the Class E state title, and our finalists ready to go. Back down to the floor once again. I'll see you later in the third quarter. Here's Tim and Greg.
Southgate Aquinas inbounds a basketball here, 28-21 for the Raiders. Shot inside by the sophomore, no good by Jason Singleton, and PW back with it, and that's Ecklund with 3 personal fouls. Now and immediately turns it over, 17 turnovers. 3-on-2, they'll lay it up, and no good, and Sean Hengesbach pulls it down. They missed a golden chance there, Gregory.
Just a terrible angle going for the layup. TJ Hemrick had no chance on that one. PW dodging a bullet of sorts.
And nearly lost. Then they find a man inside, and he's fouled, and that's on Garavaglia. And boy, they go crashing to the floor, and they'll help each other up. Jon Garavaglia is a very polite young man, well-mannered, good competitor, as you can see, good sportsman too. That's his second personal foul.
And that's what they like to see in these high school sporting events, the sportsmanship. Garavaglia.
He'll play his hindsight off when the game's on, but as you see here, this is just inadvertent contact.
Here he goes up, puts hard down, hard. Would not allow the three-point opportunity.
Brad
Hall goes to the free throw line, however, and earns the one from there with a chance for another.
Brad Hall, who was an 81% free throw shooter, 1 out of 2.
And I think he may be the only 81% shooter we'll see the entire day.
In the state of Michigan right now.
Perhaps high school, thank you. Look how far Garavaglia has to come out to get the basketball.
And that's an off-balance shot. He'll turn around, dump it underneath, turn around off the glass. That's no good. Tipped up. There's 3 chances at it. They still come away with the ball. We said rebounding would be a key, and Aquinas proved that it's superior there. Then on the 4th chance, that's no good. And they'll get a 5th.
Well, they're showing their aggressiveness on this particular possession, but throughout the first half, PW did a very good job. In fact, they led it in rebounding in the first half.
There's 5 shots. They might get a 6th. And it's out of bounds, and they'll get it back. They have had 5 shots at the basket on this possession. And actually, PW led the rebounding stats at halftime.
They got more offensive rebounds on this sequence alone than they did the entire first half. Just 3 offensive rebounds for Aquinas in that first half.
Let's see if 6 times the charm. No, and they had all 5 shots at it and couldn't get it. PW hung tough and got a turnover. But that trap defense by Aquinas has been tough at the other end. Here's Ecklund. Good look at it.
You got him!
And he is fouled. Mickey York standing by here on the sideline with a special report. Mickey?
Tim, we definitely have some true Pirate fans. True Pirate fans, I'm sorry, I mixed up my words there. What made you dress up like this?
I'm a Pirate fan. I like to, get decorated. The spirit.
I hear you're related to the coach?
Yes, we both are.
In what way?
Cousins.
I used to play with him when I was little, or when he was littler.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Tim.
Steve Ecklund misses the first free throw. He was in the act of shooting here. PW now trying to get its 2nd point of the 3rd quarter. Eklund now with 12. 5-point game, still very much in doubt. Neither team ever a state champion or in the final game.
One thing that we've seen that's been a constant throughout this game, first half and now this 3rd quarter, has been the defensive intensity. Both teams picking up far out on the floor, calling upon the opponent to have to make an offensive move. That time, Southgate Aquinas able to answer the bell, but a lot of hurried shots, a lot of rush force shots so far because of the defense.
That was junior Antoine Campbell, the point guard. 4 points for him. Now Hengesbach. Puts it over now.
He really had nowhere to go. He put it up off the glass and was very fortunate to have a true bounce.
Gets the steal, and now they can cut it to 3 or fewer. And PW has hung in there tough. Undefeated Southgate Aquinas, #1 in the state.
You know, the defense is sort of helter-skelter. All over the place, running, swarming to the basketball. You've got to be very sure with the basketball, and you got to have good court vision going against this type of defense if you're Aquinas.
Well, Ron Kramer wanted a foul there, but there was none to come the way of Wayne Work, who was going up against a wall of arms from Aquinas. Inside, is that an offensive foul?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's 3 fouls on Antoine Campbell now.
Good defensive teams give up the body. They'll step in looking to draw the charge every single time. That's why it's so important as an offensive team to pull up. Right here, if you can just pull up, go straight up, you avoid the offensive foul. But by letting your momentum take you into the defensive man, you get that offensive charge almost every time.
There's a 3-pointer. That's going to be off to the right. No, they battled for the rebound, but there's just too much size there for Aquinas. And Jason Singleton did a good job of using that size. Funny, a great Ecklund plays low on defense, and he's usually high on offense. There's the triple team and a whistle and a foul, and that one's going to go against Pewamo-Westphalia.
I really like the way PW rotates on defense. I mean, they'll go down, put 2, maybe 3 men on Garavaglia, but when he kicks it back out, they rotate very well back out to the basketball. Quick team defensively.
Garavaglia is going to go up. That one's altered. That shot's way off. He has really struggled today. Jon Garavaglia has not scored in this half. He has 7 for the day. He's averaging 16. He's rebounded pretty well. He has 6 there. Now he's got 8 rebounds officially, but he has struggled offensively. 4:18 to go third quarter. Aquinas by 5. They're in that zone, which is Greg and I were mentioning during the commercial, bothers PW much more offensively than does the man-to-man. Ecklund for 3, and he knocks it down. Steve Ecklund, that's the first 3-pointer by Pewamo-Westphalia today, and the Pirates are down to 2.
That was a deep 3, too, and he shot it very comfortably. Obviously, on Ecklund, you got to get up and play him.
Eklund says, thank you for giving me that 3. Here's around his man Garavaglia with 3 men on him. Finally makes a little move inside, a little post move, and he has 9. 32-28, 3:40 to go third quarter.
That's where Jon can be very effective. But it's going to be important for his teammates to get him the basketball. Otherwise, he's going to get impatient and he's going to step out on the perimeter.
Loose on the floor, PW hustle, shot up, no, and Garavaglia is there for rebound number 9.
Well, he's cleaning up on the glass now.
The tallest Pewamo-Westphalia kid on the floor is 6'4", Brian Thalen and Steve Ecklund, and Garavaglia is 6'8".
But I hadn't even noticed because of all the hustle. I mean, every time you look at the ball, follow the ball when PW is on defense, and you're always going to see at least 2 people.
Brad Harr picks up that foul. That's the second team foul on the Pirates.
And Tim, when it goes inside, you may see 4. Very good swarming defensive team.
They jump inside his shirt, his socks, and his shoes, and anything else they can get their hands on without getting called for a foul. Underneath Garavaglia, beautiful pass from Antoine Campbell.
Big fella moved well without the basketball that time, and Campbell had good vision. Made a nice bullet pass inside that Garavaglia caught and put right up.
And that'll go back over. As you can see, the 3-point shooting for PW, half the efficiency it usually is. So Aquinas now is on a 4-point run. If that's a run, it was 30-28. Now it's 34-28, and Aquinas has got the numbers, 2-on-1. But Campbell's pass is batted away. Beautiful job by Pewamo-Westphalia's Brian Thalen.
Excellent recovery once again. No wonder they like to pressure full court. They have no worry about giving up layups because they race back defensively, and more importantly, they match up very quickly when they get back.
Pewamo-Westphalia wants to talk it over at the 2:37 mark of the third quarter. From the Palace, our score, Southgate Aquinas 34, Pewamo-Westphalia 28. One of your network sponsors today is True Value Hardware. Tim Staudt along with Greg Kelser back here at the Palace in Auburn Hills. There's your story. Southgate Aquinas has not led all the way, but most of the way, and this is a 6-point margin. Aquinas was up 7 at the half, and PW has hung tough all day against the #1 team in the state, undefeated at 27-0. PW with the ball after that timeout.
Aquinas going with the zone defense. They'll have to make sure that they keep a man on Steve Ecklund. He's moving well without the ball, floating along the baseline. There he is.
Ecklund for 3, looks good from here. And Steve Ecklund rattles it to get it to 3. You can just see that one headed for the bottom of the net.
Sure, and if you're going to play a zone, you got to know which players on the perimeter deserve the most attention. Now, Ecklund should have the attention of Aquinas now because he's knocked down 2 long threes, and both of them have come from almost the same spot on the floor.
Ecklund has 18 of PW's 31 points. They're looking inside for the big guy. Garavaglia whistle and a foul, and he's held from behind. The thing is, remember, if Garavaglia starts going to the line late in the game, he's only a 57% free throw shooter, so that could be a factor. Foul against PW is Chad Hingusbach. That's his second. 3 team fouls now on each club. Minute 50 to go. PW would love to get a stop here, down 3. They're looking for the big guy. There he is, and he dumps it off. He knew someone had to be open, and it's blown by Lawrence Simmons.
You saw a moment ago the paltry shooting percentages of both teams. Should not come as a surprise. They're both sound defensively, and right now I think the ability to play defense and get back and maybe intimidate a few shots is hurting both clubs. Yesterday, they limited their opponents, both teams, remember, to just 25% shooting, and now as those defenses going against each other, hurting each other's offensive productions today.
Angersbach had a good look at it, but he couldn't get it to fall off the iron. And then he just missed the offensive rebound. There's Garavaglia inside. Boy, when it's a mismatch, he gets that, a good look at it, which he did because the guys guarding him are too small. He's pretty tough. Garavaglia now with 13 points, 3 off his average, and it's a 36-31 game.
Yeah, and he's gone in spurts, Tim. Had 4 quick points, 2 field goals, rapid fire type in this first half, and quiet for the most part in the early part of this third quarter, but then he got going after about 4 minutes, and he's been pretty strong.
PW says we need the rest, and we're willing to go off the floor no worse than 5 down. And Aquinas says fine by us. We'll take the rest too. So we'll just sit here and watch the clock count until about 14. This is what they got rid of in college basketball to eliminate this. And they'll wait here, I would guess, till 12 or 11 or 10. They don't come out, pick them up. There's no 5-second count. Ecklund has a good look at it. Ooh, in and out, no good. With 2 seconds to go, they might get a shot out. That'll be off, and that's the end of the third quarter. Our score is Southgate Aquinas 36 and Pewamo-Westphalia 31. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a moment. You're watching the MHSAA Championship Network.
They're on their feet at the Palace after 3 quarters of the Class C Championship. You see Southgate Aquinas with a 5-point lead over Pewamo-Westphalia. Aquinas built up a 7-point lead, Marshall Thomas, in the third quarter before Pewamo-Westphalia came back. What were some of the keys to the third quarter play?
If you can believe it, Pewamo come out to start of the third quarter, and they even upped their tempo even more so with even more defensive pressure. As a result, they held Aquinas for the first 4 minutes just to 2 points.
Now, after scoring only 2 points in the opening 4 minutes of the quarter, Aquinas got going again. How did they do it?
As all good teams do. They went to their big man on the inside to illustrate that no one could cover their big man on the inside.
Well, we saw the score by quarters. Let's go down courtside once again for the final 8 minutes.
Jon Garavaglia might have been wiser to shoot that one and dish it off. They looked open there, but at least they do get it back. So now we're down to 7:34 to play in the fourth quarter.
The big guy is an unselfish player, but maybe should start thinking a little bit more of his own offense because he's got a little hot streak going now. Don't want to waste it, especially as hard as they have to work to get the ball inside to him.
This is the last quarter of his high school career. It really goes up a level to the Big Ten from here on out after this one.
That's right.
And it's a 7-point Aquinas lead. But Pewamo-Westphalia just won't go away.
I like the tenacity and the offensive confidence of Steve Ecklund, and gets back on defense and gets the nice steal. Here we go, back the other way.
There's nothing but pure hustle by Ecklund. Didn't quit after the miss.
That's right. Most players, when they miss a shot, they put their shoulders down just for a moment and say, oh, but not Ecklund. Right back to the defensive end.
The block by Garavaglia out of bounds. Take a look again.
There's number 43 on the drive. Wayne Worth. PW regains control.
And that one's blocked away, and there's 2, and then he steps out of bounds. So Pewamo-Westphalia 2 blocks in 1 possession, and they've had it back twice.
Well, that was Wolford. His was returned as well, as you indicated. He thought he was open for a minute.
This TJ Emmerich has been chasing. Now they're back to a man-to-man with Emmerich chasing Ecklund. They want to get him off a screen and let Ecklund try that 3-pointer again.
Well, they decided to come out of the zone because Ecklund was hurting that.
Underneath, off Garavaglia. Did he foul his man? No, somebody else. That was the Antoine Campbell. That's 4 fouls on the little quarterback. Garavaglia and Campbell, the size difference there's 11 inches as they hug each other. So on the line to shoot 2 is Brian Thalen, and now the free throw attempts become very, very important. Brian Thalen is a 68% free thrower, but he has only been to the line 34 times this year. Aquinas is going to bring back sophomore Phil Pollock, and they'll save Campbell with a 4 fouls. So he sits down. Only a 5'9", 145-pound senior, Antoine Campbell. 7-point game. That's what it was at halftime. And Brian Thalen, just as cool as can be, knocks that down. He has 3 points. That was his first free throw attempt. Pewamo-Westphalia just will not go away this afternoon against favored Southgate Aquinas. 5-point game. And plenty of time here. 6:25 remaining in the fourth quarter.
They have been very tough. They've been very confident. But look at this. It's that defensive consistency that has allowed them to stay in this game. Now, they don't get down. They just gave up a field goal. They don't get down. They come right back in your face, almost saying, hey, we're taking this right to the wire. Sure, you're going to score some points on us from time to time, but you're going to have to work for them. And for the most part, Aquinas has had to work very hard for their points.
Aquinas wanted to travel there. They don't get it. That was close to that. Then the foul goes against Aquinas, stops the clock. And that one goes against Lawrence Simmons. That's his second. Garavaglia has scored 8 of Aquinas' 12 points here in the second half. As I say, he now is up to 15, one beneath his average, and we have exactly 6 minutes to play. 5 team fouls on Aquinas.
Just as Southgate Aquinas went to their big gun to get them going, I think Ecklund needs to get a few more touches now and be allowed to maybe create for himself or possibly some teammates. You're right, though. He's being guarded very closely by Emmerich.
This TJ Emmerich is all over Steve Ecklund.
Won't let him see it.
Officials disagree with each other. It'll go out of bounds to Southgate Aquinas. So now Aquinas with a chance to take its biggest lead. They lead by 7. 9 would be the biggest. And a travel will be called first. There are times that the Raiders look like they've been ready to put PW away, but it just hasn't happened. Here's Ecklund with the ball now, and you can see TJ Emmerich chasing him all over the place. But Ecklund is going to have to alter it inside. He may get away with it inside. Foul and a goal, and traveling is called first. And now we'll go against Brian Gill.
The specter of big Jon Garavaglia looming caused that travel that time. Ecklund had gone up for what was going to be just a tough shot. Changed it in midair. Was very fortunate not to get the turnover.
You know, Gregory, you said they should get Garavaglia down low. He's been down low this second half. That's his comfort zone, and yet he airballs it from 6 feet.
Well, he's got to keep shooting. That's the only poor shot he's taken in this half.
Here's Ecklund, but it's stolen away momentarily, and a foul is called. Now that'll be 16 fouls, so there's the next one will send PW to the line, and that might have shaken up Chad Hingespot. He got undercut there a little bit, and the foul is on TJ Emmerich, his 4th personal foul.
Where Emmerich was trying to get back defensively. Here he gets a tap away on Ecklund and then goes for it aggressively and bangs right into Hingespot, as you said. And he's still down.
It looked like he might have twisted his ankle or something, or banged off the floor. It's hard to tell, but you can see he is in pain, and so the officials will send the teams to their benches here with 4:50 remaining to be played here in the fourth quarter. Now they're going to try to help him up. Boy, Hingespot plays so hard, too. This is his last game. He is a senior, and he's on his knees any bit. Hingespot averages 11.8 points per game. He's the 2nd leading scorer on this team. And today he has 8 at this point. Let's give both teams a chance to rest here for a moment. They've been at a frantic pace.
They sure have. Most of it defensively, too.
Yep. Take a look at these shooting totals here. Southgate Aquinas at the moment is 16 out of 38. And Pewamo-Westphalia is 12 out of 39. See, that's only about 30%. 31% is all PW has been shooting. So Hingespot will likely, although he's walking okay, will at least make his mother happy.
There you see the 9 points and 5 rebounds that he has contributed. But what you will not see there is the defensive hustle and leadership he's shown out on the floor.
Now the next foul will put PW on the line for the rest of the game. They have 6. Well, they're showing 5 up there. I thought they were showing 6. They show 5, so there would be 1 more foul needed unless it's a shooting foul. PW only has 3 team fouls in this half despite all that banging around. Here's Ecklund for 3. tipped up, no, and it's pulled down by the sophomore, Jason Singleton. We haven't heard much from him in the second half, but that was a big rebound.
You know, Ecklund obviously has a lot of strength in that upper body because he shot that three-pointer almost from NBA range, falling back on his heels.
Eron Mitchell hits his first two this afternoon, and now it's the biggest lead of the day for Aquinas at 9, 42-33. We'll see if PW folds or hangs in there. For three, that one's short.
They're settling too much for the jumper right now. Maybe you should try to get a little penetration and a kick out to an open player if necessary, but really no inside presence being established by PW. And of course you say, well, they're undersized. Well, that's true, but you get your inside presence when you're undersized with penetration.
4 minutes to play now here in the fourth quarter. Garavaglia being bumped around, shot from the baseline, off the bracket, no, and it comes back, and PW still stays alive. They needed to stop there and got it. 42-33. They need a basket from the corner. That one's short. A lot of them have been short, which might mean they're a little tired here.
Well, it's turned into a perimeter game for them. And it's a perimeter game that has been non-existent throughout for them, so it's really difficult at this point for them to have to count on a jumper.
Now a timeout on the floor, 3:33 to go. PW shooting is down to 28%. Southgate Aquinas 42, Pewamo-Westphalia 33. One of your network sponsors today is True Value Hardware. Tim Staudt along with Gregory Kelser back here at the Palace. We're down to 3:33 to go, and Gregory PW's shooting has been non-existent here in the last few minutes.
That's right, 2 points in the last 4.5 minutes.
They're 0 for their last 10 shots, and they're down to 28% shooting for the game. In the fourth quarter, they're 0 for 8. 0 for 10 overall, dating back to the third quarter. Well, if you don't shoot well, you're going to have trouble winning, and they just haven't shot well enough to hang in there.
Excellent timeout by Ernie Price, pulling his players out, working some clock with no shot involved, no need to rush things. The clock is their ally at this point.
And that had to be a foul, and it was against Brad Haar, his second.
Well, they're going to have to foul a little bit more because they're a little ways from the penalty. But I think PW will be well advised not to let this clock wind down. They need to save time. And of course, when Garavaglia gets the basketball, maybe he's the man that you want to put on the line.
No question about it. He's a 56% free thrower. He has struggled from the line today. He is 1 out of 4 there, all in the first half, and he handles the ball out here.
But you know what? He could be one that you might want to foul, but they can foul a lot of these guys because a lot of 50% shooters adorn the roster of Southgate Aquinas.
But you're right, this is good strategy for Aquinas because they don't have to shoot free throws yet. They're not a good free throw shooting team, but they're not going to shoot free throws.
And they've almost taken a full minute off the clock since that timeout.
Because PW only has 14 fouls, now they have 5. They have to bang away and get 3 right away and put them on the line. So this plays right into the hands of Southgate Aquinas. That was on Brian Thalen, his third. You can see the free throwing hasn't been too bad for each club, but it's been a struggle for Jon Garavaglia. Right away, Brad Haar has his third. That's now, let's see, they're marked 5 or 6 up on the board. It says 5 now, it's got to be 6.
Tim, of the players on the floor for Aquinas, Antoine Campbell, he's the best free throw shooter. He's just 60%.
They say 5 team fouls on PW, so they're going to have to foul again. So this is an expensive possession.
Here it is.
And they may get a guy open anyway, and they do, and he puts it up and in. And that might have been a one that does it. Baron Simmons with 5. It's 44-33. PW does not have a field goal in this quarter with 2:19 to go, and that has been their Waterloo today, their field goal shooting.
You said expensive possession, underscore expensive, because they lost a minute and gave up 2 points, did PW.
Finally, they get one to fall. Greg Summers didn't stop the clock. 44-35. They got to foul him.
They can't catch up with him. Little water bug.
Greg Summers has it. So now, I'm not sure the official scoreboard is right on these team fouls at all. It's got to be at least 6. Yeah, now it's 7. The scoreboard clock is wrong. So that is now a 1-1. So now they'll start putting Aquinas on the line, and this is where they'll either put it out of reach or keep it close with 2:01 to play. Antoine Campbell. And that's what they wanted. Now PW down here looking for help with 1:56 to go. Ecklund for three, no, but it's going to bounce the way of PW. Inside they work. Ecklund again. Ecklund tough, and he's fouled. Ooh. And they hang tough, and they'll get a chance to shoot free throws and stop the clock in doing so.
Well, consider this. The 9-point lead, if you consider the 3-point shots, that's 3 possessions for PW. They almost got a 3-point play on this foul right now.
He might have, yeah, but it didn't go. So Ecklund on the line here now. So here's Steve Ecklund. He's had 2 3-point field goals. PW has only had 4 field goals in this entire half. 2 3-pointers by Ecklund and 2-pointers each by Hengesbach and Summers. And Summers just got that layup. They kind of let him go. As you can see, he's got 18 points and 5 rebounds.
And as good a shooter as Ecklund is, 52% from the field, he's only 65% from the free throw line.
8-point game, 1:46 to go. They're going to have to foul. Now they should get Garavaglia right there. Oh, unless he throws it away.
And that's something you don't want, you don't need in that situation. A moment ago, Aquinas did the smart thing. They pulled it out, worked the clock, and got a field goal after taking a minute off the clock.
Ecklund is he's looking to go into his shooting angle here if he can get open.
Summer trying to get an opening. He took a few shots.
Ecklund for 3, looks off. And Garavaglia with a rebound. They should have fouled him right there.
Smart move. Smart play that time by Emmerich. Pulling it back out, working the clock.
Too slow. PW too slow, and now they finally do get the foul with 1:08 to go. But they got the wrong guy fouled, though.
PW foul 45.
But boy, I'll tell you, the effort sure has been there. That's apparently the 5th personal foul on Brian Thalen. It is, and it'll bring back Wayne Worth. These guys will sleep tonight, Greg, both teams. And they have played hard.
We'll need some liniment. Little Bengay.
He's a junior, and he'll be back.
Yeah, it's been physical, it's been rough out there, no question about it. Both teams really, really working hard. I don't think either team played as well as they would have liked to offensively. But it looks like it's going to be enough, perhaps, at this point, to get Southgate Aquinas a state championship.
8-point lead, 1:08 to go, but again, it would certainly help Aquinas to knock some free throws down here.
That's off. Wow. You know, if
they could hit a couple of buckets.
And keep fouling.
Ecklund for 3.
Give him foul for that one, because he was well behind the Detroit Pistons line.
I've seen sicker cats get well. There's still 58 seconds to go, and now it's a 5-point game. Ecklund with 21 of Pewamo-Westphalia's 39 points. And in this second half, he has 11 of the 18. You know, they keep fouling him, putting the right guy on the line.
They got to.
I don't care if it's the NBA, college, or pro. You got to make the free throws.
Consider this. Those free throws get tougher and tougher and tougher as that clock winds down and that lead diminishes.
Don't forget, later today, you can see the Class C title game in the 1993 MHSAA Lower Peninsula Girls Volleyball Tournament on Pass. Join Mark Crawford and Lynn Rosendale for all the action following our basketball coverage on Pro-Am Sports. Just get a smorgasbord of high school excellence all day long. Here you are, Gregory.
Okay, watch. Look at the Pistons line. Look at the pull-up. Oh, this is a strong kid here. Ecklund with nothing but the bottom, and now Southgate Aquinas must inbounds the ball, expect to get fouled right away. They've got to start knocking down some free throws. PW is within 2 possessions, down 5.
And you stop and think, and what wonder had PW fouled a little quicker earlier on in this quarter. I mean, they've been very laissez-faire in terms of fouling.
You think back to that minute and perhaps 10 seconds that they lost on the clock and gave up 2 points to boot.
The Pirates have refused to go away. They have not shot well today. They're shooting 29% in this game, 14 of 48. But through hustle and tenacity, they're still only 5 down. Now they got a foul.
Don't wait. There you go.
TJ Emmerich will go to the line now. These free throw shooting percentages. Emmerich is only a 59% free throw shooter on the season. And the noose might be a little tight here because these will be the toughest he's probably had to hit all year.
Now there's a good move by Ernie Price. He gets number 44 in the game. That's Eron Mitchell. Eron is a 74% free throw shooter. They might want to get it in his hands, maybe get him on the line if PW is going to continue to foul, which I would think they would.
Emmerich has done a sensational job for most of this day defensively, and he hit a big free throw there.
That's a big one because it puts it, it sends it to the fullest extent of 2 possessions, 6 points now. If he can knock this one down, now you're talking about 3 possessions necessary for PW. Wow, he was cool and calm on both of them.
59% free throw, 45, 46, 39. Now 7-point game. Aquinas certainly does not want to stop the clock. Inside they go. That's almost a travel or a turnover, and it's taken away, and Garavaglia is down. Well, he took a pounding underneath there, and a whistle, and is it out of bounds back?
Well, you know, on a couple of
time, what is it here? Foul on PW? It must be.
Yeah, it is a foul on PW. On more than just a few occasions here, Greg Summers, who had a pretty good game yesterday against Williamston, 11 points. He's tried to take the ball in penetration without really knowing what he was going to do with it. That time, got inside, underneath the basketball, caught up in the air, tried to knock it off the legs of Garavaglia, but ended up turning the basketball over.
Here's Lawrence Simmons on the line now for Southgate Aquinas. He's a 48% free throw shooter.
Odds are getting better for PW.
48% free throw, that's what you get. Down the floor they come. From 4-point range, no, that won't go. Gets it back, it's going to go all the way up and in. That's Greg Summers, 4 for him, 46-41, timeout PW. 2 possessions could give him the lead. It isn't over with 27 seconds to go. So Ron Kramer will talk with his assistant coach. This is his 10th season, as I say. He's a 6-time CMAC championship coach. And his team now trying to figure out some way to pull this one out. Videotapes of this year's MHSAA Boys Basketball Finals are available for purchase through the Media Center in Lansing. Each game is $39.95 and may be ordered by writing the Media Center, and that's at 2405 East Mount Hope in Lansing, 48910. 2405 East Mount Hope, Lansing, 48910. Allow 2 to 4 weeks for delivery. And the final video on the game here in Class C has not been recorded yet. 46-41, Southgate Aquinas with a victory here would be the 3rd unbeaten team today to finish unbeaten with a state championship.
And you got to imagine that it's difficult as those victories start to mount each game as you go. Because now each team that you play is going to be at their best. They're pointing to you on their schedule. They want to be the first team to knock you off. So I guess you have to give credit not only to the others, but certainly this Southgate Aquinas team for being able to handle all of that pressure, winning all those championships they did too, by the way, on their way to the biggest championship of all, possibly the state title today.
Now Jon Garavaglia will inbound the basketball for Aquinas. One of the Pirates falls down. That lets him get it into Antoine Campbell, and he is fouled on the diving Ryan Wolfert. And that ate up 2.5 seconds, so there's 24.5 seconds left. Antoine Campbell has not made a free throw today. He is 0 for 2. And actually, Greg, he could make one and still not cripple PW's chances. One would put him at 6, 2 threes would tie that. But they'd sure love to get it back here right now and take a quick 2. If they do miss, I think PW might be able to drive in and get 2. And he makes it. 5 points for Antoine Campbell. Here's the key free throw now.
44, Mitchell comes back in. Simmons goes to the sideline.
Antoine Campbell, a senior. He's playing with 4 fouls.
In this situation, if you're Aquinas, make or miss, you want to get back, match up quickly, and do not commit a foul.
Just as cool as can be. They've made some big free throws here in the 4th quarter, and another timeout with 24.5 seconds to go. So now Southgate Aquinas has forced PW to 3 possessions with 24.5 seconds to go here at the Palace. Don't forget the big one coming up tonight in Class A. Undefeated Benton Harbor against once beaten Detroit Pershing. Pershing beat Harvard by 32 a year ago, and this is the rematch, and it promises to be a good one. A great keepsake of the MHSAA Boys Basketball Finals is the 1993 souvenir program. This 100-page publication is full of features and information about this year's finalists. And to order your copy, send $3, that's all, to the Michigan High School Athletic Association, and they're located at 1019 Trowbridge Road in East Lansing 48823. Well, Gregory, we've seen some hard play today, as you might expect. This telecast is a copyrighted production of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the Palace of Auburn Hills. No reproduction of the pictures or accounts of this game may take place without the express written permission of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the Palace.
You done reading, Tim?
I'm
got it all in?
I've got what when they hand it to me, I read it. So don't go home and try to pirate the video like you usually do.
All right. Well, I was going to do that if you hadn't read that.
24 and a half seconds to go.
Going to save that 39 minutes.
The high schools won't mind, but the Palace doesn't like it when you steal their video.
That's right. They got to race it up the floor now, does PW. Get off a quick shot. Right man with the ball. Ecklund. He's been hot from three-point territory.
Ecklund shot is good. Steve Ecklund in timeout. That's their last timeout. This club just will not go away. 4 3-pointers for Ecklund, all in the second half. He's had a big game today, as have all the Pirates. Boy, I tell you, this will be a tough runner-up trophy if PW has to accept it. But if they do, it'll be with their heads high. They have hung in there tough all afternoon.
And what about Ecklund? Prime time? Yes, he is. I mean, every shot, every three-pointer he's nailed in this half has been a big shot, and in a must situation.
All right, you can see PW is now all out of timeouts. Here's Ecklund. He has 25 points today. He has not signed with a college yet. He's fair game for anybody.
Look at this. Loses the handle just a little bit.
He's out by the Pistons behind
it. Yeah. Well, he hasn't even worried about the three. Keep in mind.
That'd be a layup to him.
You know, remember back in the first half? That first one that was not allowed. And then in this situation, he says, well, I'm just going to make sure I stay well behind that red line. No question about it.
He's made 5, but they've only given him the credit for 4. Ecklund is 9 of 18 today, 25 points and 5 rebounds.
Here you see it. And you know something, Tim? They could use that 1 point right now because they'd be down just 1 possession with it.
No question about it. And you know doggone well they're going to foul immediately there with 15.9 seconds to go, a 4-point game. Southgate Aquinas knew this would be a tough game today, and it has been all the way. PW led by 1 after 1 quarter, and they've led since then, but never out of control. Whistle, foul. That's against PW, no big surprise. It is not a deliberate foul, which is the key here. You never really see that called unless a guy's tackled or flagrant.
But you know what? No time went off the clock.
Yeah, that puts Emmerich on the line. Again, he is not a good free throw shooter percentage-wise at 59%, but he made the last 2 that he shot here. PW wants to get a designated fouler in here, and that could be Dan Werner checking in.
See a little bit difference between the college rules and the pro rules. Now in college, that would have been a dead ball foul, 2 free throws for Aquinas and the ball. But in this situation, and a smart play by PW, they get the foul, no time goes off the clock.
You know what, Greg, they might be better off to run down here and get a layup if they can, because foul right away. They can't call timeout and stop the clock. They're going to have to use the foul, because if they miss a three-pointer, they'll never stop the clock enough in time.
They're going to have to get a quick basket, too, because keep in mind, the clock does not stop after a made field goal. Aquinas can just let it go through the net, catch it, and stand out of bounds.
Emmerich way off, so here they come. 4 down, 11 seconds to go. Ecklund for 3. That one is way off, and that might have been the game there with 6 seconds to go. Boy, had that have gone, though. 2-1, and Southgate Aquinas with 0.7 of a second to go will win the Class C state championship for the first time.
That's right, they are going to win it. Not much you can do with 0.7 of a second left.
Had he made that shot, though, and cut it to 1, and they fouled right away, it would have left some suspense. But it took him 31 minutes, 59.3 seconds to win this game. Pewamo-Westphalia is going to finish 24-3 and runner-up after finishing in the semifinals a year ago, but what an effort they put in here today. And they'll go back and look at those shot sheets and say, great, we shot 16 of 52. Hey, we shot just a little bit better. And yet on the other hand, with Garavaglia roaming around the middle, it's hard to get the shots you want. The Pirates and the Raiders gave the fans a pretty good show for $6 apiece here this afternoon. What a year for Southgate Aquinas, 27-0 for 15th-year veteran head coach Ernie Price. He had a losing season his first year, and he's had 14. There he is, Ernie Price, went to Melvindale High School and then Central Michigan, and he is one happy guy. He's had a lot of pressure on him. They knew they were to do well, and there goes Jon Garavaglia. His high school career comes to an end right here. You look at Steve Ecklund. The tears come down. He's a competitor. And it's the nature of the game of basketball, Greg. You've been on both sides of it before.
You always hate, it's a bittersweet moment when your career comes to an end. But it's always nice that when it ends, all the games end. There'll be no more games tomorrow. It's over.
It's over here, and at the buzzer, that basket, I believe, will count. They'll give it to John Cooper just in the game. And as you can see, the Hugs for head coach Ernie Price. And it's a 50-44 final, and Southgate Aquinas has won the school's first ever Class C state championship in its first try. A great effort by the Pirates of Pewamo-Westphalia here this afternoon. They never could quite get back over the top. They struggled with their shooting all day, finished with 31%. But they made the Raiders of Southgate Aquinas earn it today. And Jon Garavaglia and his teammates will now shake the hands of the runners-up here in Class C. We'll be back for the medal presentation, the celebration, the tears, the cheers, and all that go with this great event. This is the MHSAA Championship Network.
The Michigan High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball Finals have been brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance and by True Value Hardware.
Well, you see, Southgate Aquinas has become our third champion. They win the Class C crown by a count of 50-44. They join Saginaw Buena Vista in B and Grand Rapids Covenant Christian in Class D with championships. We got 3 champions crowned, and boy, you're impressed with the play of Aquinas, Marshall Thomas, and also the comeback of Pewamo-Westphalia, which never got there, but they never quit.
They never quit. This game was everything that anyone could have asked for. It kept you excited all the way out throughout the whole game. And the game was always in doubt, even for the last few seconds of the game. I thought that Aquinas held their cool very good, but I thought that Pewamo did a very good job in terms of never giving up.
I think it was appropriate at the end to see the 2-star seniors both go off at the end of the contest when it was finally decided, both to roars, well-deserved roars from their respective crowds.
And they both had some very, very excellent games. And again, I take my hat off to Steve Ecklund. I thought that he played a very excellent game. And we had said that at the top of the game, that he was a very excellent player.
All right, the champion is Southgate Aquinas. Right now, let's go down for the awards presentation to Eric O. for Seth.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the presentation of the championship trophies and medals, let's acknowledge these 2 fine teams for their achievements this year and their play here today at the Palace. At this time, we direct your attention to center court, where William Newkirk, superintendent of Maple City Glen Lake Community Schools, a member of the Michigan High School Athletic Association Representative Council, will make the awards presentations. First, let us honor the runner-up in Class C for the state of Michigan, the Pirates of Pewamo-Westphalia. First, we will present the individual medals. Number 11, Brent George. .35, Ted Smith. 41, Greg Summers. 43, Wayne Worth. 45, Brian Thalen. '53, Jim Thalen. Number 13, Dan Werner. '25, Chad Hanksbaugh. '33, Steve Ecklund. '51, Ryan Willert. '55, Brad Haar. And accepting the runner-up trophy in Class C for the state of Michigan, Coach Ron Kramer. Congratulations to the Pirates of Pewamo-Westphalia. And now, for the 1993 Michigan High School Athletic Association Class C champions, the Raiders of Southgate Aquinas. First, we will present the individual medals. Number 12, Nate Purcell. '20, Brad Wilkerson. '22, Phil Pollock. '24, Kelvin Sanders. '34, John Cooper. Number 40, Tom Lacombe. '42, Mike Silman. '44, Eron Mitchell. '50, Aaron Burke. '52, Mark Vandenberg. Number 10, Antoine Campbell. '14, Lawrence Simmons. '30, T.J. Emmerich. '32, Jason Singleton. '54, Jon Garavaglia. And accepting the championship trophy for the state of Michigan in Class C, Coach Ernie Price.
The Raiders of Southgate Aquinas win the Class C championships. To keep it right here, one of your network sponsors is Farm Bureau Insurance.